Another day, another double. Did some 400s this morning. Just did an OG workout, which basically is I tried to run for 35 minutes. Taking some walking breaks here and there. Feeling pretty good. Finishing up here, it's getting evening. And I saw an article the other day in Trail Runner magazine called Opinion Article about you can't sell safety. And it was an article written by a woman talking about how so many companies, especially running companies, are trying to sell her all these safety products. Thing into it, today's world, that's what everyone's selling is safety. They found that fear sells, fear motivates more than anything else. And like I'm finishing up here on the bike path, but if you notice, it's still light out. I don't run on the bike path at night, even though it's probably fairly safety, but I can smell the campfires, urban outdoorsman, and there's just no way I'm gonna come out here. And kind of a point of our article was, these companies selling safety equipment, but also that, it sucks that they can't, women can't go out and run when they want, where they want, wear what they want, etc. And I'm like, well, I've been at this since 1979, and that's always been the case, at least here in Bakersfield, California. When I was running in the late 70s and early 80s, I was harassed all the time because there weren't people out running. I'd have things thrown at me, I'd be yelled at, all kinds of harassment. And of course, when I cycled, it was even worse. So it's kind of an age-old thing. It sucks, but it's just the reality of our world. Now, if you haven't noticed, I'm a pretty big guy. 250 pounds, 58 years old. If I look like a homeless Santa is what people say. And so generally people don't mess with me, but you know what? People mess with me. And I just kind of choose my fights and my battles. I know that I can't go out here on the bike path at night because just want to avoid issues and problems. It'd be great if I could just go train whenever I wanted. Like this morning, I was on the east side training. Where I was training, I'll train there at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. There's no way I'd run around there during the daytime. It's a bad part of town. It's just how it is. I should Google this story, and I always butcher it, but I remember someone telling me about this, a ninja master, teacher, martial arts, and he had a dojo, and his students were walking to the dojo. And this is back in the horse and buggy days, and his students were goofing around like young men would. But as they were walking along, they saw a horse and a buggy, and when they got closer, the horse started kicking, and one of the top students in the club, in the group, avoided getting kicked by the horse. And so the kids, the young men were all excited. They get to the dojo, and they're going to tell their teacher, their sensei, about how amazing it was that he avoided injury and didn't get kicked by the horse. And when they tell him the story, the sensei, gives him that Yoda look and is very upset with them. The reason he's upset with them is because they should have never put themselves in harm's way to begin with. When they saw the horse acting up on that side of the street, they should have crossed the street and avoided the confrontation completely. And that's basically what I do. And I've had many instances of being harassed. We had this one guy on our bike path who was chatty Cathy, but over the years, he'd want to talk to you, stop you, and I'd be like, I'm training, tried to be polite with him, and he just got more and more aggressive, where I finally had to record him, and tell him to leave me alone and quit harassing me. Then like a year later, I happened to be in my backyard working out in the pool, talking to my middle son, and I said, hey, I go, you don't go on the bike path anymore. And he started telling me about this guy. Turned out to be the same guy, harassing him and bothering him. And over the years, I've had that happen quite a bit. It is what it is. One of the reasons I've got my headphones in, actually I am talking through the phone, but I wear my headphones all the time just to avoid confrontations and people bothering, harassing me when I'm out training. One of the favorite tactics a lot of these guys like to do is, they ask me for cigarettes or something, and I always joke that I wish I was training hard enough so people didn't assume that I was a smoker. But, I get the point of her article, and in a perfect world, it'd be great for all of us to be able to go out and train and do what we want to do, wear what we want to wear, and feel comfortable and be ourselves. But unfortunately, just not the world we live in. I mean, it's just, it's safe compared to other times and throughout history. As Joe Rogan talks to a lot of his guests, we're living in one of the most safest parts of history ever. And we also kind of just rile each other up with stranger danger. And, mostly people are good, but you've got to be careful out here, and that's why my first rule is, stay healthy. And the way you stay healthy is by being vigilant and observant, so stay healthy, be boring, not epic.